Alec Bradley, Black Market. This bad boy is wrapped around the whole thing. So, um, guess what? I got a tripod for the camera. This is an interesting cigar. I've smoked this one, maybe one other time. And I remember enjoying it that time. But I don't remember much about it. I just remember liking it. So I had about 3 minutes to spend in my tobacconist's humidor yesterday to run around and pick something out. I was in a real hurry. I was in the same shopping center getting a haircut. Actually, I got more than one haircut. I got a few of them cut. And I just ran over there. I had my daughter with me. She was running errands with me yesterday, and I did. They're playing my song? Are they coming after me now? Do you hear the sirens? They figured me out. No, Ossifer, these are not Cuban. They're Nicaraguan. Anyway. Honestly, what could be going on is you need to run sirens on a Sunday morning. I don't get it. So anyway, I'm in the shopping center, and I actually had a shop lighter that I had accidentally taken. I wanted to return it, so that was my excuse. So I signed up for a spot on the roster for the haircut. I wait, and just ran down a few doors and brought that back. And while I was in there, I was running through. My daughter doesn't like smoke. She can't stand the smell of the place. So I went in there on my own, and she sat out front and rocked in the rocking chair, which she loves. And I just ran and grabbed something. I was trying to keep under a certain budget. I just wanted to keep, just kind of add a couple to my top drawer, basically. And something I'd probably smoke soon, right? But not spend a ton of money. And I'd remembered that I hadn't really reviewed or really thought much about this Alec Bradley Black Market. And, this is a small one. I'm not sure what the ring gauge is on it. It's pretty small. It's not a cigarette or a cigarillo size cigar. It is a little bit bigger than that. But I'd say the ring gauge is in the 40s, low 40s. I mean, it's pretty small. And it's not but about 4.5 inches long. So they make Black Markets that are more of a Robusto size, a little bit bigger. I wanted this smaller one because I knew it would smoke a little bit differently, experience would be a little different. And I just wasn't sure how it would taste. Also, there's a time factor. I wanted to make this a shorter review. My first one was, 17 minutes long? You really want to watch a guy smoke a cigar for 17 minutes? And pontificate upon that cigar? I don't think you do. I'm learning. So, I'm thinking that keeping them under 10 minutes is the way to go. The experience on the cigar is a little different. Because it has that big wrapper that goes all the way to the end, you have to unwrap that first. You don't want to smoke that. You don't want to light that. Not a perfect burn. Not a perfect burn by any stretch, but the line on it is pretty sharp. It's just a little wavy. I don't know if you can hear that engine fire up. That's my neighbor's, I think it's a 17 or 18, maybe 16 Mustang Cobra, something or other. Bought it for his wife. She loves it. I tease him though. He has a landscaping business, has a big, I think it's a Chevy 2500 or something, turbo diesel, all macked out, lifted, wheels, rims, exhaust, chipped, all that good stuff, right? His wife's Mustang has more balls than his truck. And sounds better too. She's an engineer, graduated Georgia Tech, drives a boss ass Mustang. Just goes to show you can't judge a book by its cover, right? So back to the cigar. I dig it. It's a really good cigar as far as flavor profile, strength. You know, it's a Maduro wrapper for sure, which is my go-to, my favorite type in general. Usually, um, it's complex. Really good notes of cedar. Um, it's a little, I would say medium, maybe medium plus on strength. It's really not terribly strong. Uh, Taking light puffs on it too. I mean, it's smoking quick. I'm almost through the first third already, so it's gone pretty quick, and I'm not trying to hot box it or anything. Um, it's pairing super well with my coffee, which has gotten a little cold, but other than that, it's pairing really well. How about a little information? I type in Alec, it automatically knows me. It, Google knows my heart. It's kind of scary, huh? I'll see if I can insert a picture of this. The Alec Bradley website, the first thing that pops up is a picture of a cheeseburger with four Alec Bradley Magic Toast cigars. One of my absolute favorites, possibly my favorite cigar of all time. Five of them and in a row where the beef would be. And it says in big letters, plant-based alternative. Clearly taking a shot at the Burger King, that new plant-based Whopper. Forget what they call that. The Miracle Burger or the Miracle Meat or whatever it's called. The Impossible Burger. That's right. It's the new Whopper with the Impossible Burger meat in it. And there's all these commercials on TV where Burger King, I'm a beef person. I love beef. Oh yeah, I love beef. And they got a hard hat on. I mean, all the stereotypes, right? And they cut to the guy taking a bite of this burger. Oh, that's a great burger. Yeah, but it's a Whopper for sure. You know, I know what a Whopper tastes like. Surprise! It's plant-based. So the fact that I just love that Alec Bradley has that sense of humor. Oh, I just noticed in the background there's a cup that looks like a fast food drink cup, right? With the straw in it, but the straw is an actual cigar. It just reinforces all the more why I love this company. But let's look at the black market first. They have got quite a few cigars. They've really grown in the last couple of years. The black market, they say that is medium to full in strength. I'd go for that. Um, and it's rated a 90. Now, it doesn't say who rates it a 90. My guess is that's an internal rating. The wrapper is from Nicaragua. Doesn't say what the leaf is, but I would say it's a Maduro. The binder is Sumatra. It's from Sumatra. And the filler is a mix of Honduras and Panama. Comes in a lot of sizes. Punk, which I think is what I'm smoking here. It fits. Robusto, Toro, Churchill, Torpedo, Gordo, and Chunk. Again, sense of humor. Chunk. The Punk is a ring gauge of 42. I said low 40s. Its length is 4 1/4. There's 22 in a box. This is what the site says. For every month for over a year, I had been working on blends with a special tobacco from Panama. The unique flavor of Panamanian tobacco that I so thoroughly enjoy somehow had to be shared with the world. Creating 18 different Panamanian blends, I smoked the third one in line, and I knew this was the black market. The mystery of Panamanian tobacco and the crate-like box in which black market is displayed illustrates this cigar's journey. Written by Alan Rubin, the founder of Alec Bradley. Alec Bradley, that's the first names of his 2 sons. And his company is not Alec and Bradley, it's Alec Bradley. I watched a wonderful documentary where they explained that when his sons wanted to get into the business, he said, I'll help you get into the business, but you're going to do your own thing. And you're going to learn about hard work. You're not going to just have it given to you. Mad props. I like that. And he made them start their own line from scratch. Now, he had a guiding hand, of course, but they had to find their own financing. They had to find their own rollers, their own. They had to go find the tobacco themselves and figure out the business and decide on their own marketing and how they're going to present their products and whatnot. And there's a subline or a sub-brand, if you will, within Alec Bradley that's Alec and Bradley with the ampersand, the and sign in the middle. And that's where you find other really, they've come out with a few like the Blind Faith, Alec and Bradley Blind Faith cigars. Pretty cool stuff. That's going to be on a review here soon. I had thought that the black market was also something that Alec and Bradley had put together, but it turns out that was Alan's. That was one of Alan's lines. Great company. I also like that they're an American firm. Alan is an American, and just a little bit of the patriot in me, Obviously, there's really, there's a collaborative effort in cigar making because, generally speaking, most of the tobacco is grown outside the U.S., and some of the best stuff is grown in Nicaragua, Honduras, Panama, other places, of course. But there aren't a lot of companies that don't try to capitalize. I had to freshen this up a little bit. Most cigar companies seem to capitalize in marketing, even down to their name, on the Hispanic nature or the Central American kind of culture from which really good cigars have really come. And there's nothing wrong with that. That's a great deal. I mean, I dig it. I love that stuff. Some of my absolute favorite cigars are by far not American in any way, shape, or form. They're sold here, but they're not from here. And that's cool. I love that. But I also love an American entrepreneur getting into this game, doing it well, and doing it with a sense of humor, and teaching his sons, passing on the heritage and the lineage and the way to do it. At least his way to do it. I'm damn near halfway through this cigar. The label's pretty far back when you on the original, so when you get down here, you're pretty far back. You pretty well smoked half of it. It hasn't really gotten much stronger. There's still no pepper bite, none. I can't describe any pepper in this at all. A little bit of leather. It's just now getting a little bit of tacky. You can sort of taste some of the ammonia now. And when I say ammonia, I mean it's not like, no cigar tastes like cat piss. And if they do, you need to throw that joker out and move on. But ammonia is a chemical result that happens from the combustion, the burning process of tobacco. Happens in all tobacco, all natural tobacco. So definitely getting a little bit more of that acidic. It translates on the palate as something a little more acidic. You feel it on the top of your tongue. That's where it really resonates. Now, some people like it. Some people don't care for it. Some people are indifferent to that. And it's not really that pronounced here. It's there, but it's not that bad. For me, I can kind of take it or leave it. I'm rather on the indifferent end of that spectrum. Oh. I think my next Alec and Bradley has to be that Project 40. They rated a 93 from Cigar Insider. Pretty highly rated. Anything 90 and above is really good. That Project 40 is a 6-inch medium strength 52 ring gauge. That's either a Robusto or a Gordo. It's not super big, but it ain't small either. It's a really light colored wrapper, that Project 40. Could be a Connecticut, medium strength. Yeah, being that highly rated, I definitely want to try that out. The smoke on this thing, it's a medium density. It's not real thick and billowy. It's not thin and annoying. It doesn't cling to my head. That was a big selling point on the last review. And I have that same blessing here. You know, I saw somewhere a video online, what's the proper way to ash a cigar, and they said that you should roll it, right? When you have the ash on there, roll that little bit just along the edge of the cigar, of the ashtray, so it kind of cuts the ash off, right? And ideally you should end up with like a pyramid shape or a cone shape. Pretty proud of that, if that's the truth. I think it's all bollocks. It's whatever you want. If you enjoy the experience, that's the right way to smoke it, and the right way to ash, and so on and so forth. Still can't get a decent smoke ring. That's one of the disadvantages of these back porch cigar reviews, huh? do really enjoy it though. I really like this cigar. It's gotten a little stronger now, just after the band. Once you take the band off, there's a little bit of that pepper now, just a little bit. Get you in the back of the tongue, like on the edges, the side, on the back, towards like your back teeth, you know? A little bit in the throat. Definitely burns a little hot at the end. Just a little bit. One thing that's interesting, the cap on the cigar is tiny. You can't really tell from here. Well, you can there. You can see the cap a little bit. There you go. But it rides right up on the end of it. I mean, it's barely there, you know. And then I have a small punch on my lighter, and it took up 50% of the cap. When I was cutting it, I had to be very careful not to dislodge that cap, because those things are held on with like a natural resin that acts as a glue. And if you're not careful, you can easily pop that cap off or break it, split it. Don't want to do that. The wrapper is veiny, but not too veiny. Real natural. I like that though. It just gives you that earthy kind of feel, and that's one of the flavor notes is earth, for sure. Fantastic morning coffee type cigar. Just goes right along with your coffee. You get a little nicotine. It definitely wakes you up. Makes for a really good experience. You know, I compare the flavor profile to something similar to like a Kentucky Fire Cured. Can't remember if that's a Drew Estates product or somebody else, but that Kentucky Fire Cured, and there's a few different variants on that and a few different blends over the years, but similar, very earthy, rustic almost, I would describe it. Now we all know we're smoking rolled up leaves, right? But you really kind of feel like it's rolled up leaves in a way. And I really enjoy it a lot. We are at the last little bit of the Alec Bradley Black Market cigar, the punk size. That's what they call it. Somebody in the comments, let me know, what do you call it when you get that pepper flavor on your lips? It's not even pepper, it's almost like peppermint. I hate that sound. Oh, God. That's so unique. That just happened. Just now. That little peppery, almost like a mint burn when you have a really strong peppermint and it kind of burns your lips or your tongue. Right on the tip of my lips when I take a puff, you know? Ooh, wow. Maybe that's just the heat of the smoke. Burning my lips. I try not to capture it on video, but I think that a good strong cigar makes you spit. Literally makes you spit. There's elements of it you just don't want to swallow, you know. But it's still part of a good cigar experience, and that's okay. This is definitely not a spitter. However, when you get to the end, it could be. For those of you who like a hard-hitting cigar, don't have a lot of time, and maybe you don't want to deal with the after effects all day, this is a great smoke. It starts out really smooth. It blends well with whatever you're eating or drinking, especially coffee. And at the very end, you get that hit. It got stronger at the end. When they say medium to full, they mean medium most of the way, and then when you get to the end, it gets you. Super enjoyable. All the same flavor notes too. And that little zip on the lip. I wouldn't call it aromatic, but it is a very pleasant secondhand smoke. This is definitely a cigar that you could get your little pin or your clip or whatever and take it right down to the end. Really enjoy it. But I think it's about time to wrap it up. I'm going to let it die its death with dignity. This is about how I ended up with. And that's it for this back porch cigar review. Y'all keep coming back. We'll see you later.